Hey there, Joy of the World friends and family. I am Joy, here to get our Freaky Friday on with you. I'm pretty excited about all that. And I tell you, my Superman girl, Superwoman, super has come on out with some good message and some good news. I have a little bit of preliminary card coming on in, and these are hinting at union. It is possible to have both sides. How do you do that? By laying down the fence, getting off the fence. Which fence? Offense, defense, not being played or moved about by life because it's no longer a game. If it is, has it been funny? It hasn't been funny for me. And I'm like, they're saying love is blind. They're like, let us lead you, because love itself is not blind. The follower of love is blind. Love is leading you somewhere, and where is that? To its source, and the source is life. Life everlasting, life abundant, joyous living, happy connections, all of our divine nature coming on in. I'm pretty excited about it, because how about get y'all freak on that you don't have to bury yourself in the depths of the ocean anymore. You can come on out and live the rich fullness of life. It's kind of like this being the modern mermaid, where they have that zip-on tail. It's like when you're in the water, you're speedy and swift, and when you're on land, you're speedy and swift. And it's not just about the fastness. They're talking more about the accuracy, the ability to accomplish what is your heart's desire. Why? Because you're melding the mind, the body, the soul, the spirit, what? With your strength. I absolutely love that. That is all the gold, and the golden is coming on in here. This isn't about tolerance. This is about acceptance, appreciation. I love all that energy. And I might as well mention now, right after this, I'm about to record the October read. And you're like, why haven't you done it before? They're like, wait on the moon, wait on the Mercury, wait on the shifts, because it often moves in a whole new energy and information. And they tell me things far enough in advance, and I could be cool and jump on that bus and do that sort of thing. But we need a driver on the bus. And when my driver says, ho, we're going to wait here, we're going to hang out for a while. It's like those cruise ships when they pull on into port. It doesn't matter if you like to go on land or if you like to stay on the ship. They're like, we're just going to ho-ho here for just a minute, relax, enjoy ourselves, and get into this new vibe. And when it's ready to move, we will then proceed forth. So with that one, we're going to be coming in with a little bit of the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. That is one of my favorite love stories of all time, because it has the love story without, meaning outside of you, and it has the love story going on within. And that's a bit of what they're hinting at here. So this will lead and drive you into that, and hopefully it'll be exciting for you. So we're going to get some of these, I call them pearls, coming on in, some pearls of wisdom, divine wisdom about this blissful and beautiful union. We need to turn this around. We got it flip. Y'all best go to the left. That's where the future is. That's how the earth actually spins. It was really cool this summer when I was growing certain vining foods and things like that to notice, as I set up the string for it to travel upon, they all moved counterclockwise. Okay, when you stand still, you notice that things move that direction. And it's like, if we want the life abounding, a life of a foresight, then let's get the groove on and get in the direction. Align our time, our sacred space with that energy. I want to know a little bit, we're going to dive into this card first, okay? So let's get a little bit about that breath of fresh air coming in for you. How is this possible that you can live in the water and the air? Well, first I'll tell you, it is plasma, the garden, and the gate. Because you are this. You are not the garden. You are not the gate. You are the one experiencing it, the observer. And observing doesn't just mean always sitting back and watching. You're experiencing as you go on without preconceived notion, judgment, desire for justice of what we think is right and wrong, and any of that. We've dismissed that. We've gotten away from that, because that's not the Metatron's cube. That is a prison cell. They're talking about, that's a bit of what's down here, having to bear the weight and hold this all when they're wanting to obliterate the whole system, a whole new system. What in this system is you. This machine is you. This mechanism is you. The delightful relationship here. So reforming is what I hear, and restoring the first union, the union of self with your nature. Okay. Somebody go get their feet stitched on down into their soul. Now, I'm going to go ahead and place out these other cards face down. All right. We have two more on the side over here. So I'm going to do that. Make a little space here if y'all see me stretching and reaching. Apparently I missed one. Hang on. Oh, oh, what you trying to throw in the trash can? It went straight up in the trash. Adjacent possibilities. It's like doing away with the distractions. I absolutely love that you tossed that in the trash. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that up here as my focal card to remember what we throwing in the trash. We cleaning house today, baby, and we're getting that on out. I want to get an energetic support to come on in with that. Right here we have let love in pink for divine order, because order has to do with union. It's not the going out in all those directions, it's all those directions coming into one place. Now, getting back to this card about the air and water, that is plasma. Like our vocal cords wouldn't work if they weren't moist. The air moves across it, the two hum and vibrate together. Just like you couldn't live in an environment that has zero moisture in it. You would literally like the crypt keeper and dry up. Okay. So we have a bit of color coming in because, you know, we do that here. We have the white and the cyan. Ooh, divine light. Okay, so this morning when I watch the sunrise, it gives me the forecast, spiritual forecast. The stars also do. And it was coming in with the red and the blue, which is the cyan, the cosmic spirit. It's bringing in the energetic cycling. It's bringing in the full circuit, and the white, that when it comes full circuit, it lights you up. The white, the pure white light. So it doesn't taint, it doesn't tilt. Remember that it's not coming from judgment or what you think is just or true or right. It's coming from pure center, coming from pure center. So that's what disses and dismisses the first of all, the distraction, the disgust, the disappointment, and it gets you aligned, tracked, and divine. Absolutely love it. So the cyan's backing up the white there. Hopefully at some point I'll have a setup to where you can look at the cards while I continue to work with them. Just pray for me there, okay? Wish it into the channel. Love it on in here. So I want to get a Mary L. Now, I love it because I don't just look at the cards. I look at how they come in, how they land. Like that one, it came off itself and threw itself in the trash. Like here at the bottom, we have the devil coming on in. These are the systems. These are man's way of thinking and mind. And not, it's like, where did it begin? Just like my kids when they were little, one of them, I heard them around the corner, na, 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 boo, boo. And I came around and I went, what? Stick your head in what? And they went, I said, y'all didn't invent that. Where did this come from? Where do we come from? We do not come from the mind of man. That's like dust. That's like debris. That's kick up. That's refuse. That's waste. That's that type of thing that has been used up, consumed, and put out. Now, great, it composts and it goes back into nature, but we rise up from that into our pure white light, into the clarity. And Mary L is here to help us with that. Help us with a bit of getting our freak on. The freak, it looks freaky and it seems freaky because it's not of the norm. It's of the natural. It is unique and divine and perfectly set to you. Here on the split, we have the magician coming on in. There's the true magic, the true motion, the true move. Oh, okay. They're talking about that's the pure white light. It's in your hands. The power is in your hands. Infinite. Infinite divine wisdom. Look at the top. Infinite divine wisdom. Look back there. Oh, the sun. When the sun gets so hot and bright that it goes into that white orb and sphere and the glow, that the energy really brightens up around you. I'm looking at these trees to either side. It talks about what seems dead, gone, buried, past, behind you will come forward to join you. Okay, magician, because the magician is really that alchemy. It's like where the black and the white turns gold, but it's also where the red and the white turns green. So how do we green this up? What is not us, but what is our role, our what, when, why, where, to come along with you, magician? What are you telling us here? I love it because the Ouroboros snake, the completion, is laughing here. It's talking a lot about Chiron because Chiron is in Aries right now, the house of showing up. Okay, they call it first house, but I gotta tell you, Ophiuchus kicks it off into Capricorn, and that is really the place of connection, the place of initiation. All right, so by the time we eat the fruit or the blossoms get on the tree, it had to come from the root first. but they're talking about how do we get into the state where we begin to see, where it turns from Pisces, something that has to do with like the nebulous back of the mind, the unconscious, and bring it forward into the conscious. How do we bring life forward into this conscious? Well, here's a key. Okay, Chiron, you got all the keys here. The master key, mastery. You know who's your master? You are. You are the only you who's like you. And on the split, paradisical. You belong to paradise. Okay? It's not almost paradise. No, no, no. We're knocking on heaven's door. No, heaven is right here in front of you. That's what happens when we lay down the games. We lay down the fences, the offenses and the defenses, because we ain't playing no game anymore, because it's not funny. Because in order to do that, someone has to win, someone has to lose, and we have to keep struggling and striving. They're wanting us to get into our nature, our own lane, our own space, our own identity, our own business, our own self. That's where your soul and your rewards are. No more dangling carrot, no more chasing, no more having to shed and burn bridges and leave things behind. This is coming forward to meet you. And I love it. You have dunamis power. You're going to be blessed coming and going, this life coming forward. Okay, magician, thus the garden and the gate. I mean, you have all this land, all the possibility, all the dreams in the world beyond open up clearly for you. But you also have the place to come of security and to rest your head. You are secure. I absolutely love that. Avenois, make peace with your past. Make peace with your past. The past really has to do with the suppression of feeling like you have to have this secret world where you truly let yourself out. And then otherwise you go out into the world as facets or forms or faces or pieces and parts of yourself. No, no, no. You are beautiful and divine and right on time, right here, right now, and Booho is here. 2, the divine, because I love it, the dunamis here. You don't have to have the 2 selves. You have 2 feet, but they work together as one, moving in the same direction, the union of yourself. And it's not something you have to do. We're uncovering the information, the knowledge, because once we know it, then it can be known, right? So Chiron is here bringing forth the knowing so that you can step into the truth of who you are. It will be revealed to you intimately and personally and divinely, okay? These messages come in because what I say is not the thing that's of importance. It's what you hear in your soul and your spirit and what that divines together for you, because it knows the story of where you're popping on board here. It ain't about no calendar. These are timeless, eternal reads. Transform the way you see. The way you see, the way you know yourself. Some of you, it may begin to show up as an external expression shifting. Like maybe you're a little bit bolder than what you were before. Like this necklace I just made. I'm like, what? They're like, where? I put it on and I feel comfortable now. I feel confident now. I mean, I always did, but it was more internal, but now it's coming to the surface. It's the integrity. That's the white light that magician is talking about here. It's the emanating power of our hands, of the left and right, of having clean hands. I love that. Hey, so we're going to get into the hidden in plain sight, the very earthy mindset. Okay. I want to go on a split there for a minute. 7 of Swords. That self-deception of thinking that there are things unlovely, unworthy, untidy, unmeritable about you, and that's untrue. It's you have room to develop and grow right before our very eyes, because all of it is beautiful. It's just like the egg and the tadpole and the frog and the whole state. Like I saw yesterday, the herring gobbling up the frog up in the oak tree. I'm like, okay, it's all pure, perfect, and divine. So let's see, we have the Queen of Swords coming on in here, and it keeps revealing this bit of hiddenness. This is your power. This is your power. It's not here to be devoured or consumed or taken or stolen or robbed. When this power that they've been working on comes into the fruition, the fulfillment here in you, it is securely yours. It is guarded and guided is what they're talking about. So with that, let's go into the red over here, since that is what is waking up. This is the golden self. This is the divine self. The knowing who you are, what you have, and what to do with it. Sorry, we got bathrobes walking around outside the window. I'm like, what? Okay, so that card is number 20. Again, this 2 coming on in, this wholeness of how do we enter into this union of being in touch with our power, coming from the pure white light. How do we embrace it? How do we embrace ourselves? I love it. Door to spirit. 32. Okay, so creatively. We come into this creatively through the experience of beginning to realize that you're the decider. When we take away the games, we take away the seesaw, we take away life university where there's lessons instead of blessings. And I don't mean the learning, wisdom, development, and growing. I mean the fail or pass, right or wrong, up or down, black or white, in or out, have or don't have, all of that. And it comes into the fullness. And it's like it goes from being flat and you change dimensions. Now, I'll tell you, people often talk about the 5D and all these other higher realms, but the place where they are expressed, where they're witnessed, seen, tasted, and experienced is right here in the 4D. How does it become the 4D? Well, when spirit steps on in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Okay, that's what brings it right here, heaven on earth, and they merge and they connect. It does away with the with and the without. It makes it all in one union. And you're asking for some tea leaves. There's a chunk of them kind of spitting off by themselves. But what is up under here? What is in the middle? Okay. So this is the thing that has been buried for a moment. This has risen up like the diamond mind, the diamond mine, both rising up, and it's coming in to greet you and to meet you. Okay, so it's talking about the diamonds are like the fruit on the tree, the dreams, the stars, the wishes, maybe the things that you did keep buried or hidden in your heart. These are the things that are meant to be fulfilled here on earth. There's nothing wrong with them. Nobody else is going to do without, because there is plenty for everyone. And in everyone's taste, proclivities, their opinions, their tastes, and their styles. Lots of tasting here. So you're going to see something. We're going to get in here and see what came out of the middle when they had me pull those apart. Diamond. You will be receiving or giving a precious gift. And I detect with the diamond hovering over the two like a pendulum, it's talking about and. It's talking about the merging point. Remember, the red and the white magic coming into the green, the black and the white coming into the gold. So it's the gold and the green. And the red, gold, and green that chameleon talked about, the red is you. It's that power. It's your identity. It is your soul essence coming on in. It is your blood and your heartbeat that you are alive, and life is the thing merging with you in this. It is the landing point. It is the acknowledgement that I am here now. Here I am. So it says you will be receiving and giving a precious gift. So know when something benefits you, when it is your truth, when it's your identity, your authenticity, your nature, it is a benefit to all. It's not taking or moving from here and there, thus the games and the offense and the defense and the life university and the seesaw, why we want to graduate from there, because those are conditional. And love itself is unconditional. And love is what flows forward from life. Life chooses all. Life chooses you. So they want you to choose you. I absolutely love that. So diamond landed on this door to spirit. Apparently the others are going to be explode in a minute. So with this door to spirit and this gift that we are giving and receiving, the gift of life, that circuit, the completion, and not like completion like I've achieved it, move on. No, it's literally like the keys, the cogs coming together, and it unlocks itself and you go into a whole new world. What world is that? The world of your nature, the world of where you come from, because you actually come from yourself. You came through your parents. So this is a return to self, the return to your soul, your footprint, your identity. Nothing that has to be explained. It doesn't have to be fought for. It's inherent. Look at this moon. It's like, and you'll see it there. It's like, whoa, it's like a foghorn. It's coming on in, blasting out that nebulous, foggy energy of where Chiron has been moving through Pisces the previous few years. Basically since the big C, the ABC came on in. It's been in Aries, and Chiron that's the place of initiation and action. That is the place where it becomes seeable, knowable, touchable, and apparently tasteable. And I love it because it's several tastes. You get to decide. You can have the sweet and the savory. Okay, you can have the big and the small. You can have it all. So in the center, oh, death and the world coming together. Now, I love the death card and the Mary L because you see the magic going on. It's talking about your preference and your choice, your desires versus your wants. Wants are things that we've been told, this will make you happy, that'll make you happy. Ooh, that looks pretty tasty to me. I think I want that. I think I want that. They're talking about coming to the center of your heart because it's not just head over heart. It's fully dimensional like this. Okay. This, y'all, actually looks like this. So the world will go from this flat image or like that over there appearing as a flat image, but it's taught to be seen dimensionally. Now, I tell you, Prince, you know, the singer, he shows up all the time. And the one thing kind of terse and curt is like, going through school made you see life flat and record everything flat in 2 dimension. That just makes it easy to store. But when you recall these things, your flesh in your life, thus your red, your identity, your spirit coming into it, it puts it into the fullness of the dimension. And that's what this is about. It's about your desires coming forward. And this is like floating in the waters, in the cosmic waters of being at peace and knowing who you are, what brings you balance. So it's not just what you like or what are your preferences. It's, what do I want right now? Like if you're going to eat, you look in the fridge and you go, what do I want to have right now? What do I want to have today? When you go to the store, what would I like to have this week based on the sales or what looks the freshest? So they're talking about doing away with the old schooling of our mind of things being rote, of written in stone, of ruts, really. And that's what, you want to see some juicy? You see why Mary L is my freakalicious deck. It is unique and it's divine. It's whatever suits you right now. That is what is provided for. It's not just something that, remember, it's the giving and receiving the precious gift. That is what it is. It comes forth from you, inherently from your truth. And you are divinely ascribed, is what I hear them saying, to be able to nurture it and to nourish it and to bring it into the fulfillment, into the satisfaction. With that, there are a couple of cards sitting up here, kind of tilting their way in. Peace into the sea. I really see this thing about being at peace with changing direction. Kind of like you always thought it was a this or that. How do you adjust that compass? How does the plumb line fall? How does the heaven on earth really occur? All right, so with that question, let's get to. Now, see, this 5 of Wands has to do with order, taking things one step at a time. Okay, so it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. A scavenger hunt are singularly independent things that lead one unto another. Not that this makes it that. It's about a locating thing. It's about your presence, aligning with time and space. I feel you coming out right there, aligning with time and space. Knowing your mind and what it is made for. So that's where the ideas and the ignition begin to occur. It's like the aha moments of realizing that, like in the scavenger hunt, you fully saw the clue at the time. You come into yourself, into this divine self. You have this beautiful experience. Then you rest and relax after you've received, right? When you eat, you just don't necessarily go running right around, but you sit there and you savor it. Then the next idea, the procession begins from there and it moves from there. Okay. Now we have 52 coming on in. Look at this. This is a command of your world, the universe. It's so much bigger than just Earth and the people around you. It has to do with energies, cosmic energies. And this coming in, again, look, where'd she go? Where's Death? See, we have this gold and we have this red, this blush coming on in here. It's talking very much about the high heart. You know, this little notch that we have, that's where we stand confidently. If not, we have that heaviness of heart and it's pulling us down and things are spilling out. So you're talking about how do we get the return? If we're so divine and cosmic, how do we get the return? 6, contract. Talk about blind justice. Now, doing away with the scales of, because these scales are tarnished. These scales have been struck by the elements, and it's outside of you. So it's showing up as like worldly wisdom, things coming from the past. It's not about right or wrong. It's about what feels right, meaning accurate and in tune with who you are. And it begins to build that trust and that relationship with yourself, that no one's being held to the letter of the law. Life is not grading your paper. As you decide and you're like, and you're savoring, it's just easy to talk about food, and you're savoring, all that vibration is coming out of you into the world around you, into what? It's touching life, into the plasma, into the fullness therein. And that begins to wake life up even more. And those parts and mechanisms that we have inside of ourself, remember that our divine self that we were working on over here, the garden and the gate, but the one who travels in those realms, it begins to remember that. And it's like, ooh, let's create this feeling. But if we start doing these switches and compartments of, this is my number one favorite food, and I want that today, and this and that, whatever, we begin to get out of the rhythm with life. And it shortchanges us. It narrows us. It limits us. And I'm not saying just be balls to the wall wide open. I'm simply saying be in the moment, be here now. Be here now is what this contract is talking about, because it's the 6. Be in yourself and be true to yourself. And when you eventually get to where, or maybe immediately as a miracle, you get to the state where you begin to trust yourself even in the midst. And you don't feel swayed to like, oh, I need to get this because they're getting that, or what would they think if I had this or that. You begin to get in the center of who you are, because that's the true scales, the Libra. It has to do with your full form. And the scales are the hands being up, can you see, in a receptive mode. Remember, it's receiving and giving, because it's freely given unto you. Therefore, you freely receive. And out of the abundance, your heart flows. And anything beyond that flows out over into the world around you. Okay? Now you have this whole set coming on in over here. That's going to wait. That's going to wait for those 2 cards that slid up to the side here at the bottom. It's interesting because we have judgment. So that is the symbol of the phoenix, about being burned and having to resurrect from yourself. That's expensive on your energy. They're wanting you to have your final phoenix, your Quetzalcoatl, where you move into your goldness self, into the center of yourself, and you begin to mind your own business. And it doesn't mean get out of everybody else's business. No, it's like you are the prize. You are the one that gets to taste and savor. It's time for you to see yourself in that pleasure, in the plenty, in the glory. Look at that. That's gorgeous. That's like a chandelier up on your head, and it's got the diamond all up here. It's everything. You are everything all at once. You are plenty. Okay. Now, I love it with the contract. We have the 5 of discs coming on in. Now, what he's examining in his heart, this is ancient. All the roads of life come together in one place in your heart, and your heart knows how to lead you. That's where the spirit moves from. We have the second brain that's in our heart. It's connected to make sure it can still run our oxygen in our lungs so that the blood gets oxygenated, bringing life to the trees, waking this color up around here, right? The firing off of the battery, and it comes in with a live Jupiterian energy. There is no shame in your abundance. Oh, I love it, because see, that hand of Fatima, when it's down, it's the giving and the receiving hand. It is the hand of abundance. That all roads lead to you. What pleases you? What makes you happy? Don't wait to see if you can get people on board or someone to go along with you. If it's not going that way, if it's ruffling feathers, don't step back down from who you are. Turn back into yourself, into your soul, into your spirit. She like, showing up as a woman today. Sugar, this is ancient wisdom. Like, you got to do what suits you when it's suiting you. Friend or no friend, lover, no lover. Other people on board, not on board. We are here with you, bringing in your pleasure, your fulfillment, okay? So there is no shame in it. And you will begin to abound. There's no way around it. Life abounds. To those that lean into life, that make the choice of self, that trust that what is coming through is divine and right on time, they begin to abound and flourish. And not waving in the face of others, but begin to come to that place of peace where all things up. Look at that. Well, stand your ground with yourself, from yourself to yourself. Like, you got to know when to stand up to yourself and to stand up for yourself. And either way, all in there is self. So we have 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, lots of energy, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. Y'all, these are so shuffled. The Queen of Wands. Giving yourself permission. Do you see all who's here with her? Man and woman, this is you. Up in here, this is your delight, going out into the cosmic universe, loving on life itself, because you're loving on the life in you, and it causes it to abound. As we know, a little bit of exercise produces even more energy than what you expend. It is the laws of nature, and this is nature showing up, saying, let me help you out. I know how. And look at all this. All the candles is all the firepower, all the spiritual, all the illumination is going to abound to you. The energy, the influence, the provision, the prosperity, the magic, the lightheartedness, the spontaneity, the creativity. I absolutely love it. I mean, and that brings in all of this. And these aren't about having to weigh the choices. You can choose whichever you want. You know, it's being able to not have to write it in stone, correct? And you have the assistance and help. And that is all those candles down at the bottom there. And you get to see how nature does what it does. You get to enjoy it. That's the observer. Remember, it's the one who's getting to have the experience, and it's being written on your mind. And thank goodness it's coming through like a movie, because when things get rich and abundant, there's so much detail. Like a picture is worth 1,000 words. Can you imagine what the movie of your life is versus the book? Books, they chop them up, spit them out, and reduce them down. Ask the editor. Ask the editor. And it's like, no, just let all this come on in. Let your fullness come on in. We're about to find out what your fullness is. So hang on in, and then we will wrap it up. Listen to you growing and dividing in yourself. This is a little bit of tea leaves that came out at the split that you have buried. And it is involving your success. Look at that. That's the diamond mind. And the diamond mine. Whose? Yours? Yes. Say it. Mine. Diamond. These precious gifts that are being given and received are whom? Whose? Belonging to whom? Mine. Mine. It's interesting that children naturally come in saying mine and looking for the center of self and being connected to their nature. And we unplug that, we clip it up, we wrap up them Christmas lights and pack them away for one time a year. You know, we put it into fairy tales, daydreams, everywhere. And Odin is over here. Oh my goodness. Odin is over here like, so determined. Odin is also Jove, Jupiter, the energy that we saw coming in with all the roads of life lead back to you. That is the greatest balance. That is what puts all of life in balance. And it's pure and it's perfect and it's direct. Can you imagine if you had to go all across the world every day going, who's got my email? Who got my email? And then you have to spend the time reading it and trying to reply. It's direct. Or like on Instagram, DM, direct message. It's things coming directly to you. And what things are that? What a rainbow. Because you know what the white light is? When it begins to be bent and it puts in that creativity, because usually the prism is 3 sides, is put into that creativity where it's refracting and bouncing off, it breaks out into the rainbow. Then you turn it the other way and it hones back into the white light. So that's why the diamond is talking about the giving and receiving. All in the one in the all. All for one and one for all. You got that right. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. So there's a bit of a pruning going on, and that goes back to this. Pruning of your preferences, and it's like keeping your mind clear. Life will help you keep the balance that causes you to flourish and shine. When you get into your business, and that's what they're talking about, out of everybody else's business, because that's us thinking that we can run nature itself. When we get into the truth of who we are, we can begin to relax and our nervous system opens up, and our perceptions and perceptibility, our senses, claircognizant, which is, super knowing. Then we have clairvoyant, super seeing, clairaudient, super hearing, clairsentient, super feeling. We have all these things coming in. We become a superhero. Our own superhero in life becomes extraordinary. Now, this storm isn't any bad storm. All of that is just not even showing itself. It is the lightning. Lightning is plasma, and it is connecting. It is drawing those energies that were buried deep within, because a lot of lightning, the greater portion of lightning, is when the thunder rips the sky, the atmosphere, and it pulls energy from the earth up into heaven. So these were things that came with you here, that came into this space and into this place, and they needed to be dislodged and uncovered and brought up directly, directly to you by Jupiter, by its mass, by its power. You might even check out Jupiter in your chart, because we are the whole zodiac, and you could tune into some of those readings. They're all eternal, everlasting reads. You can just find the folder in under my channel in the Joy of the World and say that it's Sagittarius, and you go click on Sagittarius, scroll down through there and find the title that jumps out at you, and trust yourself. Begin to listen to your spirit and walk through it together. Okay? So I think that's about it. I am super excited. I love that they reiterate and share this message that you are the whole rainbow. You are the Skittles. You're the Skittle factory. Remember, you're not relegated to the garden or the gate. You're the observer, the one that gets to experience and taste this delicious life that is what? That is you. That is yours. Remember? I'd say it that way. Mine is the diamond. Mine. You gladly step up and you're like, oh, thank you, that's mine. And it's easy for you to receive, because it's not arrogant. It's not of ego. It's standing in your truth. Hey, I love you. If you're still here, you like something, so click that like button down below. It helps us rise to the top, and it is free as always. You might even consider clicking the subscribe and jumping on the joy train. What? Your joy, my joy, all our joy coming on true. The rainbow crayon box has room for you. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.